Welcome to Relationships and Chill, where our aim is to make relationships great again. In this episode, we'll be having a very candid conversation with a group of guys that I met down in Houston at a baby shower. Now, don't get it twisted. That ain't my typical thug thizzle. That ain't what I typically do. I don't typically go to baby showers. But I think this is a very interesting and in-depth conversation for men to have as it relates to how we view relationships. So I think you would rather enjoy the honesty and the openness that we display in this conversation. I never met these guys before, but I think they were a cool group of guys, and we definitely look forward to doing it again. So sit back, enjoy, and I hope to see you on the tail end of this conversation. Thanks.
You're listening to Relationships and Chill, the podcast for singles and couples about how to find and cultivate the relationship you've always dreamed of, based on trust and honest communication. Why waste your time going through the typical dating obstacle course, only to end up with drama, jealousy, and heartbreak, when you can find the love of your life and live happily ever after? So sit back, chill, and get ready to make relationships great again.
Welcome to the Relationships and Chill podcast. I'm your host, R. Anthony, and I'm here with a very, very, very special edition of Relationships and Chills. Today is going to be a very special show because I got a lot of the fellas. Usually it's just me and my wife or whoever, but I got some guys that are going to be giving their input on relationships and the different challenges that men have in relationships and why they are in whatever situation they're in, married, engaged, single, whatever the case may be. We're just going to drop a little information on how or what their perspectives are as it relates to relationships. We're going to start off just kind of giving a brief introduction of the fellas, and we'll go from there. We got like a million topics to go over. Of course, I'm your host, R. Anthony. The man of the hour, we'll go ahead and introduce you first.
All right. Named Jerrod Ferguson, Camden, South Carolina. Went to school there, wasn't born and raised there. Live in Houston now. Just got engaged today to a beautiful young lady.
There you go. Everybody give it up for him. I'm gonna put some crowd noises in the background. Yeah, I'm gonna put it there.
And I'm just here with my brothers today, you know what I'm saying? Like, we come from all over the place, and for the most part, you know, we ain't seen each other in about, 4, 5, 6 years, you know what I'm saying? So we just trying to enjoy today my birthday too, so, you know.
Happy birthday, man. There's going to be a lot of crowd noises in the background.
God darn it, boy, I feel like the whole day just seemed to be centered around me. It's crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much me, man. I'm about to go ahead and swing the mic to my brother Chris and let him introduce himself.
All right, so quick, brief introduction. Chris, Stuckey here. Same things, same story, similar to Jerrod. Grew up in South Carolina, Camden, South Carolina, small town. Moved outside of that, went to Florida, now I'm in California. So my perception is going to be on, you know, my different avenues or different areas from the different states that I lived in, Florida, California. But nothing too big there, nothing too detailed, just going off of what the flow is. Swing it over to Nick Jones, a.k.a. DJ Caramel.
Hey, man, what's happening with you? This is Nick Jones talking to you. Full name Nicholas Jones, if I'm almost around, but right now my name is Nick Jones. Kevin. Also, like you said, from Camden, South Carolina. I'm in the Navy, 15 years now. So I had a lot of relationships due in and out of the Navy, so we'll get into that. Oh, my fault. Freshly single as of 24 hours ago. So let's clap and celebrate that, y'all. Yeah.
What's happening, everybody? This T. Massey, Travis, a.k.a. QP, from C-Town, Camden, South Carolina. That's right, quit playing. Been in the military, been in Texas for a minute. Grew up in Camden, but been out in Texas. Been through not a lot of relationships, but some long, but I'll give you my perspective of it.
What's going on? Marcus Hayes, also from Camden, gonna keep the theme going. Currently living in Charlotte, North Carolina. Grew up in South Carolina, went to college there. Been in Charlotte for about 7 years, and I'm currently in a relationship. So I'm trying to add some perspective or any kind of feedback and give on that around the top.
He dating my sister.
What's going on? I guess since we're using real names, this is Willie P. I'm from Georgia, live in Greenville, South Carolina right now. Not sure what perspective I'll be able to give. I guess, well, I'm married for about a year and a half, so I guess I'll be speaking on that.
There you go. So, I mean, we're going to get into it right now and kind of talk to the guys and get some perspectives on relationships and chilling, all of the above. I guess we'll start off with the man of the hour. Let me ask you this. I got a question for you. Why do you feel like today was the day for you to go ahead and pop the question?
All right, so, me and my old lady, we've been talking about a year and a half. I got a baby on the way. She a good girl. Always been a good girl. We've been together for a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? Baby due in July. So at this point, I just felt like, honestly, I felt it was only right that she deserves a ring on her finger. So why not do it on my birthday, a.k.a. baby shower? So I felt like it was I just felt like, honestly, it was like the right time to make the move, whatever the case. I could have did it earlier, but I felt the need that why not do it all in one day, kill two birds in one stone. So that's where I'm at.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great reason. So I mean, I guess I just wanted, where are you guys at individually in your relationships? Like, where, what is your current status? Obviously, you say you're married.
I'm single as of, like I said, 24 hours ago. Oh, this is Nick Jones talking. I'm single as of 24 hours ago, as far as I know, because she ain't here right now. So. If she really want to be with me, she'll be here right now.
So hold on. So did she leave according to plan, or was it just?
It definitely not according to plan. I paid $500 for that ticket. So
Well, they say it ain't tricking if you got it.
Oh,
it
man.
ain't tricking if you got it. I got it, but it's still tricky because she ain't here right now. So I feel like I waste my money.
So I mean, so hold on. Let me get this right. So she came here. You flew her here.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. She left on her own, or she flew out according?
Well, see, technically, what had happened was we had a little what you want to call the altercation, a non-physical altercation.
Yeah, you got to mention
on
that.
a discussion. I'm gonna make that very clear. She didn't like something that I said in the past or did in the past, so I went very clear on it, and she didn't like me bringing up the past when she brings up all the time. Because women do it all the time.
Can we do this then? Go into the scenario because, I don't think.
Need to know background.
Yeah, we need to know background.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
need to know background first off.
I'm
and
just
then-
trying. Hold on. Let me.
What background do
Let
you
me
know
paint
now?
the picture for somebody who doesn't know you, right? So they know you.
I'm light skinned, I'm 6'1", I'm 205 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, the story, but I mean,
story? Oh, that background. Oh, okay.
So how? Let me
you
ask
trying
you
to sell me out this motherfucker.
Let me
Okay,
ask
you can do that. You can do that too.
Trying to sell me.
How to what extent was this relationship in the first place?
All right, so check. We knew each other for 10 years.
Okay.
I met her in the club when I came home from military leave one time. Club levels, 1800 Blandon Street, Columbia, South Carolina. It's not there no more. It's a church now. It's crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I know. It was a lot of sinning, and it just turned to a church. It's crazy. And I met her there. We became friends for over the years, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And then, last 2 years ago, when I came off my 2015 deployment, I hit her up. We started talking, and became friends. I'm about to say friendser, but more friendly. Started talking. She came and visited me in Hawaii. It is what it is. Ended up being,
More than
come together.
So then,
as one.
As far as the whole disagreement.
Yeah.
How did that happen? What was the disagreement?
We were talking about a story about, scenarios and people and how we react. And I brought up a story about how we reacted in the club one night. Somebody smacked on the booty. I like, yo, so that's just cool with you? Somebody smacking your booty, just let it ride? She's like, that was you. I said, no, that was not me, because it was me. I would not be in your face asking you this question. She's like, oh, my bad. So, and that went from there to 10 very, very quickly. So I brought it up. She didn't like the way I brought it up in the scenario because we was around new people that she just met for the first time. Mm-hmm. Which, I'm going to take that back. That's my bad. She don't know y'all like that. Okay, so she don't. I admit that it was my bad. I shouldn't have brought it up. It was a bad time to bring that up. But I brought it up, so I can't bring it back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The past is past. Yeah, you're right. But one thing led to another, And I said some more things in the parking lot. I'm not gonna disclose what them things were Because they were very bad on my part, and I want nobody to think me out to be the bad person. Because I'm a very nice person. Like I said, I'm 6'1", 205 pounds. I'm less than you.
So
I got brown eyes, too. Pretty brown eyes.
I got a question, Nick.
Instagram name Jones, 803, 808.
So you said you known her for 10 years, right? Dated her for 2?
No, yeah.
Is it worth throwing away?
We had a good thing going. I ain't gonna lie to you. We had a good thing going. You know what I'm saying? She was my other half. She was the complete opposite of what I was. She was smart. Not saying I'm dumb, nigga, because I ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think it's really over, or is it just like at this moment?
At this point, with everything that happened in our past leading up to this point, I do think it's over.
Okay.
Like right now, at this moment right now, she blocked me on everything. Like I'm talking about Snap. I mean, not Snap. I'm still on Snapchat. She ain't got that far. I don't think she know I'm still on Snapchat. But on Facebook and Instagram, I'm done.
But if both
And
of y'all
phone calls.
But if both of y'all had a chance to fix this,
Yes, we
would
did.
you? No, would you?
Oh yeah, I would fit. I'd talk to her right now if I could.
So regarding the situation last night, then.
Over then.
I'm gonna hold on, real quick. I'm gonna say this right now. I ain't gonna make this whole thing about me. I'm gonna let you know this right now.
No, we just trying to. I mean, we
Just trying to get the situation.
we trying to ask.
Yeah, because like based on the situation
this
last
is legit.
night, like what kept you from keeping it level headed last night, or just having that conversation to keep it from going that far? Because I've been in this situation before, or that same type of scenario, and the same concept. The girl's like, well, don't talk to me like that in public, or let's not have this conversation with it like this. So like, what kept you from having that level headed conversation? Could have been the drinks, like.
Yeah,
what was
because
it?
alcohol does play a part.
You know what? I'm gonna go and say this. This has happened before in the past, like I just said.
Wait, with her? With her?
Yeah, with her.
Okay.
We ain't talk about we ain't gonna talk about the past.
Okay.
Nigga. No. Before the 10 years, we ain't never like been cool like this. Like we just like sending messages back and forth in the 10 years. Last 2 years, you know what I'm saying? We had like maybe 4 or 5 altercations like this. You know what I'm saying? Non-physical. I'm gonna go throw that back there right now. Non-physical.
Yeah, make sure you
non-physical. Non-physical.
Disclaim that.
Yeah, non-violent. You know what I'm saying? We don't promote that. No Chris Browns here.
Okay. So let me ask you guys: have any of you had situations where, not currently with your current scenario, but in the past where you had these back and forth disagreements, and you thought it was over, but you ended up doubling back, tripling back, quadrupling back? You guys ever experienced that before?
Yeah, I would. This Jerrod. I would say, yeah, I've done it quite a few times. I mean, even
I try to get it.
Even in the current situation, I don't want to call it situation, the current relationship that I'm in now. You know what I'm saying? Like in the beginning, it could be. I mean, it could be a little rocky. You know what I'm saying? I mean, especially when you're trying to get to know somebody, and things don't really go your way, and you're bumping heads and all that stuff. So you know what I'm saying? So. You say quadruple, man. I feel like I've gone back at least 10 times, man. But
right.
When you love somebody, you know what I'm saying. Like sometimes you just go, you kind of tough it out. You know, kind of go through the trenches, go through war with them, or whatever the case is.
So what makes a relationship truly over?
Man, I feel like, honestly, like
that's to anybody.
A relationship, to me, I feel like a relationship is truly over when it just feel like, honestly, like the love just ain't there no more. So, when you guys feel like you got to argue every day, and you feel like, honestly, like you just can't stand being around each other. At this point, like it's kind of like done in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, women, they're emotional. So, if a woman gets to a point where she's like, hey, look, she don't really want to deal with you much no more, then it's like it's kind of through, man. And I've been in situations where a woman, I've been in situations where a woman has actually walked away from me and never turned back. So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that men aren't emotional. You know what I'm saying? I'm an emotional guy. You know what I'm saying? When I proposed my old lady today, yeah, I shed tears, but I'm just saying that. When it comes to situations like that, where it's like your relationships on the rocks or whatever the case is, when women, my mom always told me, she said when a woman gets to a point where she feels like honestly she can't do no more, then it's done, and there ain't no turning back. You know what I'm saying? That's coming from a woman. So if a woman tells me that, then you got to take it for what it is. That's just my perspective on it. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you fellas.
I mean, yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I agree. I feel like you kind of, when you're in that relationship point, and like I said, it's hard to get to that final ending point where both people walk away and, you don't double back, triple back. You're still contacting each other. I mean, I think it's more of a feel, and you feel that connection is gone that you guys had. So, and once that connection is lost, it's like you know it's not coming back. And
what makes you fight that battle, though? Continue to fight that battle. What makes you continue to fight that battle?
So it depends on the person, because it's I'm not gonna double back on.
Yeah, you're gonna speak from your experience.
Oh, you want to? So I would say I'm I kind of, in a sense, double back to where my current relationship, we took a break and then we got back together, and when we kind of ended things, I think it was from a maturity level and not really experiencing life and growing, and so it's like once we got to a point that we I would see for myself when I got to a point to kind of live my life and been away from that, and we got together in high school, and so I went to college, and you experience things, you kind of grow apart, and you start like maturing in different ways, and so it never was a bad ending to the situation, and so when it came back around to where we was able to get back together and reconnect, the feelings came back the same as when we kind of had them on the start.
This is R. Anthony, but yeah, I mean, I just want to comment on this. When it comes to like doubling back, I mean, I've done it. Me and my woman, we did it initially because I think anytime you're in a relationship and two people are like trying to become that item that you're two individuals and you're trying to get to know each other, and there's that rift where it's like this is how I see things, this is how you see things, and then sometimes it just takes that time away for it to just blow over a little bit, for it just to like, okay, like I know that's truth. I know that's truth for you, and I know that's truth for me. But let's find a way to come together and blend. And even though we don't have to see eye to eye exactly on the situation, but I understand from your perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not necessarily that I have to accept it, but just certain things are just water under the bridge, if that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's just water under the bridge, and then just having that experience, I know it changes the dynamics of the relationship. So from there, it's kind of touchy because it can get better or it could get worse if you guys don't express how you truly how it truly is on the internals. Because then it just piles up, and then eventually it will run its course. But some things can be a little, swept under the rug every now and again,
This QP, just asking, because you said you had a relationship since high school. What kept it strong? What kept it going on? That's a long time since high school to now,
So the relationship, we did have a break to where it was a year break, multiple years ago now.
People change.
So one thing is the uniqueness in the situation. We went to high school. We actually went to the same college. We've been in the same area, so we still had interactions, but not to where, like I say, it wasn't no bad blood or anything. So, we say not necessarily a regular contact or whatnot, but it was like I would see her, we have friendly conversations, but nothing to where I had situations, she may have had situations, never got to that point, and then I think it was kind of mutual blame as far as I needed to kind of grow myself in my way. It wasn't the right way or whatnot. So I don't know if that really answers your question all the way, but one thing you kind of said is like when you do double back, though, I think the biggest part was you really got to make a decision that you're going to forget or not, leave all the things in the past and like move from that point. Yeah, and so if you can make the decision to do that, then it really doesn't impact what you got going forward. But it's easier said than done.
So y'all really got me on the mic. This is Willie.
Willie P on the mic.
Okay, so I think the initial question was, when is the relationship over? I don't think there's a definite a concrete answer on when it's always over. I think ideally it's over when both people involved know it's over. And when one party doesn't think it's over and the other one does, I think that's when you might have some instances of doubling back or going back. Because one party might think it's over and the other one won't. And then the one that doesn't think that it's over will try to convince the other one that it's not over. And then if they're convinced, then they might, get back and give it another try, even when they probably shouldn't.
But let me ask you this: since you said when the one person thinks it's over, but what if both of them don't think it's over? Like they're just doing it for the sake of the issue at hand. So there could be an issue at hand, and they're both, neither one wants to actually like bring the issue up, and so you guys can address it and move forward. What if both of you guys don't want it to be over, but you're just kind of playing the game?
So if they both don't want it to be over, but they're just kind of going through the motions, then they're on borrowed time anyway. If they're just together just to be together, then it's just a matter of time anyway. That's what I think. I think in a relationship like that, it's toxic because, just like Travis said, there's not adequate communication. So, and maybe that's just how they want it to be because it's comfortable. But too many people are in relationships because they're comfortable. I know I've been in one.
Yeah.
It was comfortable because it was really it's comfortable. I don't want to get into it.
No, it's all good. I mean, that's what this podcast is designed to do. I mean, I want to have open and honest dialogue with people because, like, it's easy to get kind of trapped in your own relationship, and you think that it's only you that is experiencing these particular things, or there's things you don't experience in your own relationship that you're not aware of. So you kind of get trapped into this holding pattern where it's just like, this is how it is for the next 5-10 years. And it's good to interact with other people and other couples that are that have their own unique experiences so that you can mesh and learn and grow with those people. So, but I mean, I don't know if one of you guys wanted to interject into the point.
You look at me.
You ready to talk, so let's go, baby. Go ahead.
No, I mean, this is Chris Stuckey, and I pretty much agree with Willie P over there because, I mean, it is a sense of being comfortable when you're in a relationship, and then it separates, and then you have that feeling of out of place. Mm-hmm. So then you look for that comfort once again, and the only way you know to get it is back into the relationship you recently got out of.
Right.
And in the same sense, you may not be ready to move on, right? Or completely out of the relationship. There may be other distractions within your life or within, what's going on both sides of the party that could be taking you out of the relationship, right? So ultimately, like from my experience, it's about finding or trying to get to a place of happiness, and it's impossible to search for it or seek it out within your relationship from your partner. The goal of happiness is something that you have to find within yourself and get and obtain for yourself. And then once you get that, then your other half needs to balance you out with the goals that you have in your life and they have in their life, from my personal perspective. Mm-hmm. And then once you guys, have that same feeling and you feel that you both can get to that or get to that agreement within your life, then, I mean, that's a complete relationship. But as far as going back and forth, it's all about a comfort, and just, having something or having that feel that you haven't experienced.
So let me ask you this, because that's kind of brings up a great point. Well, in order to avoid that issue, how do you keep a consistent issue? I ain't gonna say issue list, but how do you keep it with less issues in the relationship? How do you keep it flowing and keep it going good? This is our Anthony, by the way. So that's my question I want to pose to you guys.
Well, before Travis jump on that, the question was, and this is Chris Stuckey again, the question was, how do you keep less issues out of the relationship, right? And honestly, the only way to do that, and if you can't do it this way, it's not going to work, in my opinion, but the only way to do that is to have that dialogue or have that open conversation with your other half, right?
He already said
If you don't have, like, if you can't have that conversation, and there's topics and subjects that are impossible to have sometimes, or feel impossible to have. On the other end of that, there's stuff that you just don't want to talk about because it feels like you do it over and over again. But you have to have that constant dialogue, right, and that open conversation with your other half, and then get to an understanding, right? And one of my biggest things in the past is I just ignore issues or ignore problems and try to sweep it under the rug. And that's not how to do it, right? How to do it is talk about it and then come to an agreement, come to some type of understanding and go on from there.
I mean, I agree. This QP. I agree with pretty much everything you said. If you don't have that base of a communication, then it's kind of pointless to be in a relationship, honestly. I might be blunt, but it is what it is. Communication is the key to everything. If you can't talk it out or solve your problems through communication, then what is the point, honestly?
Yeah, I agree with it's Marcus. So I agree with both Chris and Travis with that. It's the communication piece, and I just think without it you can't grow, and it's just those issues are going to keep coming up. When you have an issue, and one thing I feel that I didn't know when I was younger, or I didn't follow when I was younger, is to agree to disagree. And so, being able to agree to disagree, that helps from a communication standpoint. It helps, avoid those issues, and kind of when you do run into the issues that are going to come with the relationships, kind of get through those and move on and continue to grow together.
All right, well, check this out. This is Nick Jones talking to you. Give me a tip from a military aspect. All right, so, again, I just came off a 7-month deployment like a month ago. Mm-hmm. So pretty much me and my old lady, that's the only way we had to talk, like emails, pretty much most of the time. Unless I just got happen to get a certain window where I can use the phone to talk to her, or when I'm really pulling in FaceTime or whatnot. But like a lot of things, you got to make sure it's very clear. Like a lot of things be misinterpreted through email. Like I tell her I'm doing such and such. Oh, so you doing this right here? But no, I'm just doing this. I'm doing fine. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure everything's clear with your spouse. You got a question? Hold on. We got a QP. We got a QP with a question over here. I'm good, but like I said, man, make sure when you do communicate with somebody, make sure it's very clear through message. Because they can be very misinterpreted very, very easily.
Especially like via email and text.
Via email or text message.
I'm with everybody, right? So, communication is key to everything, right? So, me and my fiance, I'm quick calling girlfriend now, but me and my fiance, so from day one, we had the establishment of like, hey, look, there's nothing gonna be held between us. You know what I'm saying? So, if you have a secret, you don't have a secret. We're gonna talk about it or whatever the case is. And when you have that type of agreement to where you two can agree that there's not going to be nothing held between y'all, then I feel like honestly it's going to be a great relationship. Like I said, we've had our downfalls, but our downfalls hasn't been because of communication. Because we talk about any and everything, and even if it's like bad, we still talk about it. Wherever it's, communication it's just so key. People don't realize like how powerful communication is. We could talk about whether it's like text messages, phone calls, emails. Doesn't really make a difference. But if you're not really talking to each other, at the end of the day, it ain't really it's not going to work. So whether you talk about faithfulness, whether we talking about I can buy you every diamond in the world, or I can talk about I can give you anything that God has on this earth to give. But if you can't talk about any and everything, like almost like best friends, you know what I'm saying? Like I can call these four boys about any and everything, and they can give their perspective. But at the end of the day, it's me and my fiance. So it's not me and theirs. It's just me and mine. So when you go to talking, and you can get to talking, and you guys can hold that steady conversation, I feel like honestly the relationship can be so much stronger. And I feel like that's where mine is now. So that's just my take on it.
So, communication. I think that's pretty unanimous. That definitely that communication. I want to before, because I know you wanted to interject something, but I want to know. This is my thing, right? Because I kind of been, I ain't gonna say wrestling with it, but as a black man specifically, right? Because we were not really taught really how to communicate. If you think about it, that's something. Yeah, we weren't really taught how to express our true internal feelings.
Man, I brought that up with my old lady like right before we broke up.
Okay, go ahead.
I like I read that one of the hardest things for a black man to do is to open up and express and let that wall down.
Right.
Because we've been raised to keep that barrier up.
Right.
So we don't express our feelings. We always raised like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's one of the hardest things to do.
I mean, for me, like in high school, man, I couldn't even talk really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was something I had to work on. It was something that I knew in order for me to be really the best version of me, I had to be able to express myself in a way that is very clear and very understandable for not just for the people around me, but like I knew eventually I was going to find a woman that I wanted to be with, and I wasn't going to let no woman out communicate me. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to let no woman, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the typical advantage that women have, is to be able to express themselves.
Yeah.
And so for me, I really wanted to hone that skill and get better at being able to tap into like how I actually am at that moment and be able to express it in a way that is clear. But go ahead.
Because QP here, yeah. Yeah, everybody knows how I was raised, man. I was basically taught not to. The communication skills wasn't there. I didn't really say nothing too much. I was a married man and still didn't know how to communicate, express my feelings. It's rough when you're not taught how to do it, or you don't know how to do it, and you get these feelings and you're like, I ain't supposed to do this, I ain't supposed to do that. Be hard, you know. So, yeah. I totally understand it. I understand and I get what you're saying, because that's one of the reasons my marriage was the downfall, because I would never express my feelings. I was told I was cold-hearted, and it wasn't
unfiltered.
I'm cold. Yeah.
Unfiltered.
Thank
yeah.
you.
I've been there, brother.
Yeah. And it's not that. It's just that's all I know. Yeah. It's not what I mean, but that's all I know. I don't know how to be mushy or not even mushy. Just to tell somebody how I feel.
Real quick, had they ever asked you to be like, tell me how you really feel, and then you tell them how they really feel, and they be like, you're very unfiltered.
And then they get mad.
Man.
They get mad, and you like, wow. So you didn't really? Do you really want a man's truth?
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I got to stop you right there, because that's one of the things that. No. You said something really great, because I want to touch on that too, because I now y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. But and I know I'm gonna get back to that question, because I think you guys got some stuff to say. But do you guys think that it's harder for women to accept truth than men?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But why?
This is Nick Jones talking. Yes. Yes. Very much yes.
He just said he got emotions.
All men have emotions.
Yeah, but do you not feel like women's emotions carries more weight, like for them?
I totally agree.
Than for guys. Like we have emotions,
but we're taught not to show them.
Yeah, and we're taught how to control and manage our emotions, right? And that's why they put. And I hate to be sexist in this concept, but they put guys in less emotional situations.
Let me ask you: do you think we're taught not to express, or we're taught to just be quiet?
I don't think
we're taught to bottle our emotions.
Yeah, I don't think we're taught.
We're never taught to be quiet.
It's taught not taught not to be quiet, but taught not to show emotion. Right?
Not to show.
I think that would probably be a better concept.
Yeah.
I was raised, and Jerrod was raised. No man, Chris. A lot of us were raised with no man in the house, so it was a natural instinct to be taught to not show emotions. Don't show emotions. Don't. What you crying for? That ain't what you're supposed to do. That ain't what a man does. So I don't know. Y'all can contest on it. Y'all can speak on it.
So when nowadays when we do gotta shed like a couple tears because of joy of anything,
We don't know how to act.
It's a
We
fight.
like,
It's a fight to put it out.
Thank you. Prime example.
But exactly. But do you guys think we're kind of the biggest contributor to other men not being able to express? Do you think we can?
I'm gonna say yeah because of my occupation. Because I tell people like, yo, what the like I said, I'm in the military. Like people come to me, I'm a mentor to a lot of people. Believe it or not.
Well, what do you expect though? So it's like if we're taught growing up, if we're taught we're not supposed to show emotion, right? Then we have to. That's the only thing we can output, right? That's the only thing we can put out is saying, hey, why are you showing emotion?
Right. Well, here's the thing, because now you guys are coming into a realization. We're coming into a realization that communication is key in relationships, right? So why would we give them what we know doesn't work?
What do you mean?
So, like you just said, if our only outlet is to tell people not to do this, not to express yourself, but we know that is the seed of being able to communicate, because that's why we weren't able to communicate, is because we were taught not to be able to communicate or show those emotions.
Well, see, I don't think communication and emotions is synonymous. Like, I don't think they go hand in hand.
I agree.
I think you can communicate and not have to express a whole lot of emotions in it. And that's probably where the unfiltered comes from, is because like when I talk to my girl, or when I say things from a logical standpoint, not from an emotional standpoint, right? And I get the same thing too. You're an asshole. Like, why are you saying it like that? Well, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just telling you exactly how it is. And that's the thing, is like, that's why I say I don't, and that's me personally. But I know that you probably should have some type of emotion when you communicate, to keep from having those type of conversations as far as being an asshole. But again, like, I don't think showing emotion and then communicate goes hand in hand as far as communicating and getting your point across.
This is Willie. I think the only thing I can add to it is that it's something that I struggle with as far as communicating, because I've been asked, several times, if we have a big argument or a small disagreement, to say what I feel or express what I feel, and it's just real uncomfortable to do. I don't even know why. It's hard to do, but it is. So I end up saying something like something real generic, or something just to get past it. If it's something real serious, then I'll try to somehow convey what I feel, but it won't be 100% the way I'm feeling. It'll just be maybe enough to get past the conversation.
And see,
It never comes out.
No.
Right. You have it in your head.
Yeah.
I want to say it.
and see, I'm with you. I'm with you in that scenario too. And like sometimes, it's
Say it like this. It's gonna hurt her.
no.
I want to consider her feelings when I say this. Because
Yeah.
if I say it like this,
And see, I don't do that. And see, I don't do that. I
get the asshole label all the time. You're an asshole. I'm like, not trying to be an asshole, but you asked me to speak my truth. So when I speak my truth, don't get pissed off about it. This is what you wanted.
No, I agree. But sometimes, like, I don't even get to that point where like what Mr. Willie P said, as far as big arguments, explaining yourself, or like going, saying what's in your mind. Because sometimes I realize that the reason I was mad, or the reason I'm arguing, is pointless and stupid. Like, I'm mad over something stupid, so I'm fine. Like, I get over it. Like, I don't stay angry or mad at anything for any long period of time. And I realize that, but my other half will run with it. She'll get mad and stay mad, and it'll be mad for days. And I'm like, it's not that serious.
Let me ask you, how long have you guys been together?
4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, dating. And we had our, breakups and makeups.
Right.
Yeah, just like any other relationship, but it is what it is.
Okay.
I would say I agree with everything everyone said in this Marcus. I would agree with everything that everyone says before. But one thing, I think communication with me, a certain part of the relationship is a challenge for me because personally I'm real reserved and I don't really open up that much. So when it comes to communicating in an argument, I'm not a heat of the moment type of person. I need to kind of reflect before I want to address the situation because it may come out wrong what I say, or like I said, I'm more talking from a logic and more direct and not really looking at it from an emotional state. And so, that's one I would say I don't have a true answer for it because it's a challenge that I kind of work on. I'm faced with each day, and I think being able to agree to disagree and like say not speak on emotion in the heat of the moment kind of helps me. But that's something I'm trying to grow and learn with each day of my relationship. And
I'm not changing.
I hope I hope to continue to get better at it. But I definitely haven't mastered it or know the key to being able to communicate, with my partner. And then to touch on something we kind of talked about earlier as far as, say growing up without a father in your house. I did grow up with both of my parents, and they're still married to this day. But the way that they didn't really show me how to love another person. It's just, what you're around, what you see. It's not like the relationships you see on TV as far as what I'm seeing in my household is not really what I'm seeing on TV. And if I model myself after my dad and I take that in my relationships, it's like you kind of, grow and learn from your experiences there to where it wasn't shown in my household, even though I had my dad there. So.
I get that.
I mean, I didn't. This is our Anthony. But for me, I mean, I grew up with my stepdad. We grew up in a military household, so we did a lot of traveling. And but the good thing about that as a child is you get exposed to so many different ethnic groups and races, and you get to see different things and different households and how they're ran. So I would go over a Filipino, their house, or Hispanic, their house. I would go to all these different people's houses and just get a different feel for how their householders ran and how their relationships are run. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you fellas this. I think this is a good question. Now, did you ask your question? I don't remember. Okay. Do you guys think? Now this is just a random kind of question that I have. Do you guys think there's a higher expectation in relationships for black men than any other group of men?
All right, so you said, is there a higher expectation? I think honestly, yes, because I read on Yahoo, right? Because I'm like somewhat of a nerd, but I read in Yahoo that black relationships don't last no more than 2 years. And so the way I guess society views us is like, first off, men's are dogs. Mm-hmm. So we ain't gonna last long anyway. But then on top of that, the fact that you're a black man, that you ain't gonna last no more than 2 years, then it's like, honestly, we're gonna look and we're gonna keep on moving. I mean, not look, keep on moving. We'll be happy in a relationship, or whatever the case is, but we may look outside the box, and it may say that the men will cheat because we're dogs, or whatever the case is. So, honestly, but at the end of the day, I mean, let's just be realistic. You say black men don't cheat, but honestly, we do. I mean, it depends. It depends on what you define as cheating. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I look at it. If you sit there and you flirt with another woman, that's considered cheating. If you conversate with another chick in a matter where it's like, oh my gosh, like you may have like some type of intentions with this woman, it's still a cheat. You know what I'm saying? Just because you say you physically don't sleep with her doesn't mean you cheat. You know what I'm saying?
So I never cheated. Nope.
So
how women look at it.
Nope.
So going back to the question, I don't really think there is a high expectation for black men, right, in relationships, but I do think there's like a misconception, right, or just like.
Well, do you think because of that there is a higher expectation?
I think we might hold ourselves to a higher expectation.
We as men,
the current
or
generation of black men.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Because and the reason I explain that, and I say we, but it's mostly me. Like I'm looking at it from my expectations, right? the expectation is a black guy will have babies and not be parents, right?
Right.
Or be abusive in relationships, or non-monogamous, whatever the concept is, right? So it's on us to have like in my head it's having that as an expectation to overcome, right? To not be a typical,
right there. So
typical,
it kind of gives you a working
right. It gives me
a working standard,
right,
so to
and it
speak.
does, right, and which is more like in my mind an anchor, to getting married and to doing this, because these are like mental roadblocks.
But one could argue that that's an expectation.
Yeah, but whose expectations, right?
Right. I mean, but
it's not society's expectation. It's my personal. It
exactly.
would be my personal.
Exactly.
And that's
based on
and that's where the conversation.
Right.
That's where the statement came from. Like, I don't think there is a typical expectation other than what we put on ourselves.
But is it an expectation? This could be. Is it an expectation or is it a stereotype?
I mean, it is a stereotype. It is a stereotype based off of what Jerrod Googled and researched, right? Black men and 2%, 2 year expectation. Those are those are misinformation, right? I don't know where they get the data from and where they get the stats from, but I'm sure that's. I don't know if that's true or not true, but I know from my personal experience, like, I try to overcome situations like that. Like, I'll stay in my relationship, and try to work it through regardless of what the situation is, because I feel like, there's something to win out of every opportunity, right? Mm-hmm. And we have to make ourselves better and the person we're with better. And if you can't treat your other half like your queen and help you get to that level, then there's no point in being in that relationship, and vice versa. If they can't treat you like they're, like you're their king, then you shouldn't be in that situation. So I think, it is. I mean, I guess you could say there is an expectation, but the expectation I see is put on for myself.
All right. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, like, for this last 7 months, when I was on that deployment, like, whenever a situation occurred, I would jokingly email, the old lady will not. I ain't gonna say her name because I don't want to put a business out there like that. But she's still out there searching because I know she's back on Tinder. Anyway, I would put it out there like, yo, like, such happened today. Like, yo, this such happened today. Whatnot. You won't believe who hit me up today. Talking about, so what she want? But she didn't want nothing. I told her, like, yo, this is what it is. This is what it ain't. You know what I'm saying? I put it out there like, yo, I'm in a relationship. I like my relationship, whatever. And she be like, oh, okay. But then come to find out, this motherfucker on Tinder. Yeah, my cousin told me. He's like, yeah, I caught her ass on Tinder. I said, ain't this about it? I could have been in these streets. Okay? I walked around in motherfucker with blue balls, baby, for 7 months. Baby, I could have been out here in these goddamn streets. You know what I'm talking about?
So it's a double standard.
You know what I'm talking about? It is a double standard. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like women, they find what they want, and then they continue searching when they can freely search without.
Really?
Yeah, this is how I feel. They found what they want, but they freely search. Like, you know what? Let me see. I got what I want. Let's see if I can find something better in the same category.
Really? So has that been your experience?
This has been my experience with this relationship. Right
in this particular relationship,
yeah,
but not across the board.
She had me. She told me verbally, this is what I want. You everything I need and I want, because you're responsible. You take care of things I don't need. I can't take care of. You fill up all the voids that I can't. Mm-hmm. But then come to find out she on Tinder finding something up. Mm. I said, what if you're not on my fault, Tinder and Bumble. Let's put that out there right now. Tinder and Bumble. Yeah, the motherfucker, ain't it? Yeah, all right. Shit crazy, right? Shit cray, cuz.
So I mean,
I said, so what do you find? And I asked her, like, okay, so if you're not looking for, free meal.
So with all that going, let me ask you this: how long have you known that to be going on?
Like, I just found out when I was like in this 15 days of me being on military leave. Like, yo, I just found all this out at the same time.
Okay.
Like, my cousin told me, like, yo, I'm gonna tell you straight up. Like, we and him went to lunch. We kicked it. We never called up, talked up. Like, yo, like, told her what was up with me and her. He like, yo, I'm gonna tell you straight up. Like, yo, like, cause my cousin's single. He was like, yo, I'm gonna tell you straight up. Like, bro, I'm in these streets, bro. So I'm listening right now. Like, I was on Tinder and I swiped right, and I seen on Tinder. I was like, he like, I seen her name. I was like, what? I said, what? So at that same time, I pushed to the side because I was just happy to be home, be around her after 7 months. Right. So a situation happened. Like, you know what? Whatever. So she watching whatever she had to do, doing some work in the bedroom. I'm in the living room watching the game. I like, you know what? Let me just see what she talking about. Let me see what my cousin talking about. So I get on Tinder and I look, and she was the 6th profile that pop up on Tinder. And you know what? It was all updated profile pictures from Facebook. And then on top of that, one of the motherfucking pictures that I took. When she came to hold on, let me see. When she came to Hawaii to come see me leave off.
So as you guys can tell, a lot was going on that night. It was a very exciting night. Jerrod had just got engaged. They had the baby shower, and it was his birthday. So it was a lot of stuff going on that particular night. And so they were ready to turn up. At that point, the ladies had started coming downstairs, and the guys kind of lost a little focus on the conversation because we started to really start digging deep into different aspects of manhood and perspectives and relationships and all these different aspects that we really don't get a chance to ever, divulge into. So I think we'll have to do it again. Definitely, guys, I have to get them guys together, and whenever I have the opportunity to do it, we'll do it again. But definitely like and share and let me know your feedback. I would love to know what you guys, the listening audience, thinks about all that was going on. I hope you liked it, but let me know what you took away from it. Let me know your thoughts about it. I would love to for you guys to share it with any men that you know or any women, anybody that you know that could benefit from this information, because our aim is to provide the best relationship advice possible. We want to take you from single to happily married. Whatever it is, our aim is to make relationships great again. So I appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you on the next edition on Relationships and Chill. This has been R. Anthony, and I'm out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Relationships and Chill. For more information on cultivating the relationship of your dreams, please follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Relationships and Chill, or subscribe to our YouTube channel at Relationships and Chill TV. You can also visit our website at www.relationshipsandchill.com. Together, let's make relationships great again.